Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Josh Small, the voice. We are freshly showered. We are packing up the camper and we're going to head back into Yellowstone. But on today's video, before we get into what we're doing on this trip today, I want to talk about water circulation. So let's get this camper all packed up, hit the road, and get going. So we're back, day number 2 here at Yellowstone, braving the crowds, the people, the idiot drivers that stop every time they see a squirrel, take 50 pictures and back up traffic. And we're all sitting around waiting and it's super annoying. But behind me, the Excelsior and Prism geysers are flowing at about 4,500 gallons a minute combined into the river behind me. That eventually flows down to, I don't know, the Pacific or the Atlantic. We're right by the Continental Divide. I don't remember which one. Hey, Willow, if you're trying to do that to Mama, then you're bumping her while she's trying to film me. So maybe just give her a little space while she's filming me, okay? Willow.
She's okay.
Just sit next to Mama, okay?
Hold really still.
Are you still filming? So we're back here for day number 2 of adventuring in Yellowstone Park and braving the traffic and the crowds and the idiot drivers who stop every 5 seconds to take pictures of squirrels and hold up traffic. It's super annoying, but we packed our patience. We're here, everything's all right. And behind me, the Excelsior and Prism geysers are pumping about 4,500 gallons of water a minute down into the river. And that river flows into a bigger river and eventually makes its way to the ocean. And when it's in the ocean, that warmer water evaporates, becomes clouds, and then it dumps rain and snow back here in Yellowstone, which then works its way into the ground, heats up, comes right back through the geyser. So it's got me thinking about circulation, mainly circulation of the swimming pool, and circulation is one of the 3 tenets of a swimming pool. That is key, that's important. And I guarantee you there's probably 90% of us out there with pools that can do better in dialing in and focusing on circulation to get our pool working better. Whether it's adjusting our skimmers, adjusting our returns, or changing the duration that our pump time runs to give adequate circulation depending on what time of year it is. So I want to touch on a little bit about that today, and then of course once we're done talking about pool stuff, you guys will get a little more detail and insight to day number 4 of our crazy Mall family road trip. So if we're going to talk about circulation, I think we need to start at the heart of it all, the swimming pool pump. Now the thing to remember with most swimming pools as they're built, the pump is sized around not only the filter and the plumbing, but also the pool itself. Now, a lot of people think that, hey, I'm having trouble with my pool, I'm not getting enough circulation, I'm just gonna put a bigger, more powerful pump on. And sometimes that bigger, more powerful pump isn't going to solve the problem because, of course, that pump still has to move all that water through that same size plumbing, and the plumbing has limits. What's first more important to look at is how's our water moving in the pool itself? How are the returns situated? On older pools, you'll see fixed returns that can't be moved. On newer pools built in the last 30 years, you have the eyeball returns, and those can be moved and adjusted around to fit how the pool circulates. We also need to take into consideration how the water sucks from the pool to get back to the pump. How is our skimmer working? How's my main drain working? My in-floor cleaning system? My pool vac that runs around my pool? These are all things to take into consideration. Much like the body, if we lose circulation in one part, that part starts to rot away and fall off and get gross and stink with gangrene. And it's really disgusting. Nurse Ginger will tell you all about it. So it's important, just like in the pool, we want full circulation everywhere so that the pool stays clear and clean.
Can I start punching you every time you say
I know. I'm kind of weird. So here at Lewis Falls in South Yellowstone, there's no problems with circulation. We're moving plenty of water right now, and it's absolutely beautiful. But in your swimming pool, it might be a little different. Talking about the basics, let's start with your simple above ground pool. A lot of the very simple ones just have a little pipe that spits water back into the pool, and then another pipe on the side that sucks water out of the pool. And a situation like this is small enough and the pumps are usually powerful enough that the water is moving and circulating. It's important though to take into consideration how much time you're running that pump. Now the hotter the day is, the longer you want to run that pump. The more it's being used, the longer you want to run that pump. Those are the important things, is we can also play around with duration on how we move that, or how we run that pump. Some of your larger above ground pools are gonna have skimmers, and then they'll just have a return. Now the tough thing here is that there is no main drain on these above ground pools. So how are we gonna get water down to the bottom of the pool? Well, it's pretty simple. We just wanna angle that return eyeball down so that we're pushing that water from the top down in a circular way that's gonna move that around. Along with that, we have to be careful too that our returns aren't pointed too far up, because what can happen is we raise the pH artificially. So really taking into consideration that we're really moving that water fully around the pool is a very important thing. And again, duration to how long that pump is running is also important. Now for you guys with in-ground pools, we're seeing a lot more variable speed pumps on pools where we can play with gallons per minute and things like that and actually run that pump longer using less electricity. That's a huge thing in keeping our pools properly circulated. Instead of just running them for 8 hours or 10 hours at full speed, we can run them for 20 or 22 hours or sometimes even 24 hours at a low speed. And we're saving energy, but we're constantly circulating that pool, and that's gonna help that pool just stay cleaner. Now, again, with the in-ground pools, it's important, guys, let's make sure those skimmers are working. Let's make sure that if you have a traditionally plumbed pool with a main drain where it comes up to the skimmer, we got those diverter valves in place like they need to be. Let's make sure the weir doors are in place on those skimmers. And let's check those returns to see if they're pointing in the right direction to keep that water moving in a nice circular pattern. If we're pulling the majority of our water from the main drain and just a little bit from the skimmer with that weir in place, that's gonna go a long way in keeping your pool water entirely circulating from top to bottom instead of just circulating the very top. We're dealing with a pool right now. This is a new pool that I didn't get a chance to look at. So I sent my guy Paul over there. It turns out the main drain line is plugged. It's only circulating water at the top. That means returns are spitting water out just a few inches below the water level, and the skimmer is picking it up. So we're missing the whole bottom, and that's the whole reason we're having trouble with this pool circulating properly and staying clean. We can't keep it blue because we just can't circulate all the water. So we're gonna make some big changes there, and we're gonna see some big changes in that pool when it comes around. It's gonna be really nice. So guys, your homework today is, or for the next week, is to get out there and really pay attention to your water circulation. I know swimming pools, but you know your pool. So get out there and do some homework, do some research on it. Also guys, leave some stuff in the comments for me. I want some constructive feedback. I wanna know some subjects. I've got a few more days to go on this trip, and I want to know what you guys want me to talk about here. So with that is the education portion of this. We're going to jump into kind of our crazy day number 4, going through Yellowstone and into the Grand Tetons. So I hope you guys enjoy. Well, it's going to be day number 2 up at Yellowstone. Last night was wonderful.
We went to the rodeo.
We did. We went to the rodeo. And what did you get stuck doing at the rodeo?
Oh, a little first aid, but I didn't get stuck doing it. I volunteered because nobody else was there.
Yeah, that was crazy, but it was pretty awesome watching you work with that poor girl and her very damaged leg.
Yeah.
Whatever was going on with it. But after that, because my sister and her husband Matt and our niece and nephew are up here just staying at a campground 10 minutes away, we had a night off because the kids had a sleepover, and it was at April and Matt's camper.
Yay, after like 30 hours being in the car together.
It was glorious. Absolutely glorious. These idiots went zooming past us, and now they're
part of the problem.
part of the problem.
Oh no,
And
but you
then-
guys stayed.
Yeah, you guys stay because of these buffalo right here.
Oh, the babies. Oh my gosh, so cute.
Yay, buffalo. Go, 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 go.
Come on,
Go.
now we get to go behind all of the fucking motor. Just stop.
Let's go.
We have to wait now for
I
the
swear to God, if I run into people, these people in Arizona.
But of course,
There's a bug in there, Mom.
I know you do.
There's a bug. Oh my gosh.
Typical day of getting Willow dressed.
It takes a whole bunch of people.
Takes a whole bunch of people to get Willow dressed.
Okay.
Okay, she's dressed. We did it.
All right,
We
come
did
on,
it.
let's go in the car.
Jeez. Willow. Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
The fun is over, Willow.
Yeah. Uh-uh. No. Come on. Come on. Just get dressed.
More of our road trip.
Calling all babysitters. Who wants to babysit? Willow throws an epic tantrum. Let's see her, Willow. Let's see it. Show us what you got.
Somebody's very,
See?
somebody's very,
See?
very tired.
Yeah. Who wants to babysit?
And by the way, for a special date,
Yes. So this is traffic backed up for a mile and a half to get into Jackson Hole. And we're going to try and go there to find some food, but it turns out there's a great restaurant by our campground. So we spun around. And we're trying to find food. It's one of those hangry, don't know where to stop for lunch kind of days. And we're going to be pissed off by the time we get there. But we're going to eat.
And we're getting out of all that traffic.
Yeah. How's mountain life treating you, Ginger?
only a pinky.
Is it good?
Come on, Mom.
Are the creams and wines of the children getting duller?
A
Excellent.
pinky, Mama.
Miles, how are you doing?
A pinky.
Are you good?
You swear?
Oh, here comes a big truck. Stay to the right.
Ate the mulch out of their yard and it got stuck in his intestines. So that's what they were throwing out. They had to get rid of all of their mulch in their yard.
It's cooking, Ginger.
Tamales,
Yeah.
green chili chicken.
There's a lot of red in there for it being green chili chicken. What the hell's up with that?
tomatoes.
I don't
All
know.
of the chilies that were used in this recipe were green.
How's the food, guys? Good?
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh my god, it's awful.
This is great. This is such a nice campfire we have going with our dinner. So
And
wonderful.
we're getting rained on. Hey, there's no mosquitoes right now. Yeah, I was gonna say that's
Yeah.
probably the best thing about it.